place.
I have a feeling something really bad is going on.
Will, are you okay?
Hello, Emma. Missing something?
Where is he?
New game. Hide and seek.
The Scream TV series, which aired from 2015 to 2019, failed largely because it misunderstood what made the original film franchise so enduring. At its core, Scream was never just about masked killings. It was about identity, genre commentary, and a knowing wink to the horror-savvy audience. The show, however, made a critical misstep from the beginning by excluding the iconic Ghostface mask in its first 2 seasons. Instead, it introduced a redesigned mask that looked more like an afterthought than a tribute. This choice instantly alienated longtime fans. Ghostface wasn't just a visual, it was a voice, a presence, and a symbol of the franchise's meta-legacy. Removing it felt less like innovation and more like a miscalculated rebrand.
What do we have to eat on our second date?
No, I can't recall. But this is going to be a date to remember.
No.
Worse still, the show suffered from an identity crisis. The original Scream films thrived on sharp, self-aware dialogue and clever subversion of horror tropes. The show tried to replicate this tone, but rarely succeeded. Its attempts at meta-commentary often came across as hollow or heavy-handed, lacking the wit and nuance of Kevin Williamson's original scripts. Instead of delivering a smart critique of horror, the series leaned heavily into teen drama cliches, love triangles, mean girls, family secrets, ultimately diluting the suspense and wit that gave Scream its edge. It didn't help that the pacing was sluggish. Unlike the taut structure of a 90-minute slasher, the show's 10-episode seasons often dragged out the mystery, leading to predictability and viewer fatigue. The filler content, school gossip, shallow backstories, aimless red herrings, took up more screen time than actual scares or plot progression. Equally damaging was the lack of compelling characters. The original films offered a cast of memorable personalities: Sidney, Gail, Dewey, Randy, who felt layered and human. In contrast, the show's characters were largely underdeveloped and stereotypical. Audiences were given the jock, the goth, the hacker, the queen bee, but rarely any meaningful growth or emotional depth. Without that investment, the stakes never felt real. As characters died, it was hard to care. The performances were serviceable, but the writing didn't give the actors much to work with. By the time season 2 ended, even the show's few standout characters were lost in a sea of mediocrity.
Take me back to Brandon's house. I want to face my fears. He's been here. This is where it all started.
If you try and burn me with that video, they'll find you in pieces in a ditch.
In 2019, Scream Resurrection tried to course correct with a soft reboot. It brought back the original Ghostface mask and even featured the iconic voice of Roger L. Jackson. However, the damage had already been done. The new season abandoned all prior continuity, effectively alienating whatever fan base the show had left. It aired with minimal promotion on VH1 rather than MTV, making it feel like an afterthought. Despite trimming the runtime to 6 episodes and shifting to an urban setting, the show felt generic, predictable, and completely disconnected from the franchise's spirit. The reboot had the look of Scream, but none of its soul.
We have some questions for Audrey Jensen. We're gonna need you to come with us.
Why is your DNA on the inside of the mask?
Finally, the Scream TV series was simply outmatched by its competition. Horror television was evolving quickly in the 2010s. Shows like American Horror Story, Hannibal, and The Haunting of Hill House were pushing boundaries in terms of storytelling, atmosphere, and visual design. Compared to these, Scream felt outdated and toothless, more like a sanitized CW drama with occasional blood splatter. In a time when horror audiences expected complexity, style, and genuine fear, Scream delivered none of those things consistently. In the end, the Scream TV show failed because it lost sight of what made the franchise work in the first place. It played things too safe, where it should have been bold, and too generic, where it should have been unique. Instead of evolving with the genre, it got caught in a loop of shallow imitation. Ghostface may have returned, but the spirit of Scream never really did.
Everyone has secrets. Everyone tells lies. And everyone is fair game.
If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into horror's hits and misses. What do you think went wrong with the Scream series?